When Steel talks, everybody listens.
When Steel Talks is pleased to have on the phone Mr. Dalton Narine, who currently calls Miami, Florida home. He is working on a project, a short anti-war film called And Great Showers of Tears Came Down, with Mr. Roycrosse, who's based in Baltimore, Maryland, and When Steel Talks also had a chance to do a quick interview with him. And we're touching base with Dalton Narine, who himself is a steel pan historian, a pan man, coming through Highlanders and Trinidad All-Star Steel Orchestras. He's a musician, filmmaker, journalist. He's just been doing a whole lot. And so most recently, of course, we must say that he produced the award-winning feature film Mass Man, the story of one of Trinidad and Tobago's foremost carnival creators, Peter Minshall. So there's a lot to Dalton Narine. Many people around the world, and of course in the steel pan community, are familiar with you, Dalton, but we just wanted to lay that out there for those who are getting a first-time introduction. So, you write, you submit things to When Steel Talks, you definitely keep the pan world on their toes in terms of what's going on, and we just want to say welcome, and thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule.
Yes, but it's a pleasure. Festivity comes from work.
All right, so let's touch base regarding the film that you guys are working on, And Great Showers of Tears Came Down. Regarding the Marine veteran who the film is based on, his input, what are his thoughts on this use of the steel pan for the soundtrack? Was he familiar with pan before the implementation within the film?
Actually, we didn't go that far with him, The Marine is so busy with his own ancillary projects, which involve the homeless. He was a Vietnam veteran of the year in 2009, good veteran of foreign wars. The fact that we did the interview with him, he's just waiting to see the finished. He's not trying to film and stuff like that. He just can't wait to see it, and he didn't want to hear what's going on about it. And not that he didn't want to hear purposely, but that he's too busy,
Understood. So what is the timeline for the release of the film?
Well, we don't have a timeline yet, but we're at a point where for the first cut, we are hopeful that the way I structured it, because I'm also the director, the way I structured it, I think we could knock it out of the first cut, and maybe a second cut. Of course, the roycrosse will have to approve of it too. So if we go to 3 cuts, I can't see us going beyond the middle of January. And after that, we go to a film festival, and we have some in mind, and that's the way to get the word out. We get the word out to the festivals. Things start to percolate.
Now, you knew Roycrosse for a couple of years, but let's talk about how you guys got together, because interestingly enough, you've both played in Trinidad All-Stars, but not necessarily at the same time.
He said, he kept saying, I used to go up in the garage, and I knew the names he called, all the people I know, and so he must have been up there watching me play, because he was with them before I went to All-Stars. But how I got in touch with him, how we met, is through David Boothman, a famous kind of Renaissance musician. And I was doing a piece for Macro magazine on David Boothman, and he's an artist too. And I said, I need to get some names of artists that you interface with, and he mentioned a few names, and among one of them is Roycrosse, and we just hit it off. And I remember a few months ago, he was talking about doing a dance, a play about dance, and I told him that I had done something in 35 millimeter that Erica Williams Connell had financed. It was about bestsellers. I said the person who is featured in that was Miss Bestsellers. I did another film revolving Carnival around her, which is called Mass Fever, and I sent it to him. And he said, you think we can do something together on this? And I said, no, I can't, man. I'm working on this film, the screenplay. It's very edgy, and I'm not even going home for Carnival, and then when he told me about it, he had sent me some Cancer Chronicles, and then he told me, I just wanted to get to do something with you. I really admire your work, and I really want to do something with you. And then I realized, kind of, how do you want? It was like the vibes of, most days, and we were on the phone together, and I could touch him, and I could see his spirit, and I said, this guy needs someone to work with, as creative as he is, as driven as he is, which I am. And so I said, well, listen, I have a piece that I did at the Miami Herald, for the Miami Herald, and it's called A Marine Remembers. And every Memorial Day I do a story on the Washington vets, Korean vets, Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, whatever. I've been doing it for 14 years. And he says, I said, but this particular one resonated with me because I cried all the way home. And he says, well, okay, send it. I sent it. He said, yeah, I like this thing. Yeah. I said, well, go ahead, let me tell you something. I don't want to take too much of my time. I don't want to work on this thing more than 5 weeks. It's a monologue kind of situation. I don't want to have any other actors or interviewers or interviewees or whatever. And he says, whatever you do, let's go. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, we will be co-producers on this. And that didn't come from him. I said it. You will be listed as on the poster or on the film, the credits, produced by Roycrosse and Dalton Narine. I said, send me some of his pieces. I've seen some of his work, and he still has 2 more for me that he said he's going to work on, and he's going to do the soundtrack. And I said, okay, great, everything's fine, right? I said, but you got to move right away. Roy is the soundtrack guy and the artist, and I provide all the photographs that I shot. Well, not most of them, all of them I shot in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the photographs we're using for the film. It's going to be interesting because it's a multimedia project, and we are using snippets of the story from the Miami Herald, Roycrosse's art, eclectic and otherwise, my photographs, and the Marine.
And the Marine, indeed.
Yes, yeah. And the music and Roycrosse are so intertwined. He's the embodiment of Pan, is how I look at it. I don't look at it like Oscar Wilde or Rudolph Charles. I have found a new hero. This guy this is it. This is a dying man who refused to die and stares death in the face and defy it in the sense that, not necessarily defy it in the sense that I don't respect it, but I am going to grind everything out until I go. And I'm going to do it behind the cement.